You're listening to Community Connection here on KGMI. I'm Crystal King, and I have 4 guests with me today because Ziad brought in a part of his team. And Ziad, first of all, Ziad is with MyTrafficMan.net. And Ziad, tell me about everybody that you've brought with you this time.
Well, I wanted to introduce the community to our legal care team. We get people who call in all the time with a lot of need for administrative support. As you can imagine, a DUI case has much more to it than simply court appearances. Mm-hmm. And it's nice to have a legal care team. And it includes Annie, our senior paralegal at the office, and Kaliska, one of our traffic infraction clerks, the person that we rely on when we're trying to get people into the treatment that they want. Mm-hmm. And we also brought with us Sydney today, who helps us manage all of our personal injury cases and our traffic infraction calendar.
Okay, welcome, Sydney.
Hello.
Welcome, Kaliska.
Hello.
And welcome, Annie.
Hi.
First, let's talk with Annie. She is our senior clerk who runs the licensing division.
I like having Annie because she's gotten a very firm grasp on what it takes to help people get licensed and relicensed after they've been suspended for one reason or another from the Department of Licensing. And she doesn't have the paralegal training, but I got to tell you that the paralegal programs don't have DUI paralegal training. So she's actually trained in the office, and her background comes from business and banking. And so she's really good at helping people fill out the forms they need, explaining the process to them.
Now, Annie, tell me about some of the misconceptions that you hear from people coming in or from the clients coming in.
More so, we deal with confusion. People call in and are just plain confused because the system is not readily available or to have it explained online. So they need help just navigating through all of that and all the different layers that can happen between court and Department of Licensing. So we just help them navigate through that.
Why do you think the reason for the confusion? Just that they've never had to deal with anything like this before?
Definitely that, and also just the different parameters that DOL has put on to the structure of things.
Yeah, and there's different layers of suspensions that our clients go through. For example, some clients come to us because they've become what's called a habitual traffic offender. And they can earn that status by either having more than 20 moving traffic infractions in a 5-year period, which we say that's earning the suspension the hard way, or they can have the administrative suspension that comes along with a DUI. Because if you're accused of a DUI, the Department of Licensing is going to get notice that you're just accused of it. And simply based on the accusation of a DUI, they're going to start a procedure to suspend your license before your criminal case is even done. And Annie's become very familiar with that process. So it's really nice to be able to hand the client over to someone who's going to take the time to walk them through the actual filling out of applications and explaining to them where they need to go. Annie helps us put together those petitions. I wanted her to kind of explain how we do those applications for habitual traffic offenders to get reinstated, because the state allows you after a certain period of time, after you've done some treatment, to apply for an early reinstatement of that. Yeah, and Annie, you want to describe that for them?
First, we just have to get a good grasp of where they're at, why they were put into the position in the first place, and then we can assess what needs to be put together. And we like to put together a good package that just shows that they've addressed the issues that they that originally put them into the position. And just shows their character now, that they have been rehabilitated and are ready to drive, and almost show the more human side of them to DOL.
And what's the reaction that you hear from people from when they come in to when they leave?
That's one of the most exciting things, I think. They feel like they haven't been able to drive for so long, and it's nice to see them back on the road and feeling deserving of driving again.
Not to mention that somebody understands the situation. Let's talk to Kaliska. Now, Ziad, if you'd like to give us an introduction, please.
Kaliska came to the office about 2 years ago now. I mean, it seems like we've all known each other forever. We're like a family at the office. I think I rely on them so much that I want people to understand that it's not just a one-person operation, and it's not just the attorneys, that there's an entire legal care team at MyTrafficMan that helps. And so Kaliska came to us a couple years ago, and she had just starting out the paralegal program, wanted to get into some practical experience. So what we did was started her out just basic training. training, answer the calls. This is what we do, file some pleadings. But there's so much more to her, and I'm going to let her explain exactly how she helps our clients get into the treatment that they're looking for if they're seeking some treatment, how she helps our clients, because a lot of times there are treatment-based alternatives to prison. And if someone's looking at a very serious drug offense, they could potentially qualify for an alternative to prison that's treatment-based. She loves helping people do that. She's also really good at just kind of explaining the process of how we handle traffic tickets for people. So I've put her in charge as a traffic infraction clerk too, but she can tell you more about that.
So Kaliska, tell me what the job is like.
The job is great. Like Zia was saying, I came here 2 years ago, and I was in a really bad situation. I myself was in treatment in a program called Drug Court, and in 2010, I was arrested for possession with intent to deliver, and I was facing 22 years in prison. So I was lucky enough to be in this treatment program called Drug Court, which pretty much saved my life. And that's the reason why I wanted to start working in law, is because I felt like I could make a difference to others who have been in my situation. So
That must be wonderful for somebody to come in and have you say, I understand what you're going through.
it's amazing feeling, it is, to really know where they're coming from, when they're so stressed and concerned about what they've just went through. I want to help them understand that I've been there too, and we can make this work, and their lives can be different.
Excellent. Thank you so much,
Yeah, thank you.
And we have Sydney also. Sydney is a personal injury paralegal and a traffic infraction manager. So give me an idea of the kind of people that come through your door and how you can help them be able to leave with the weight off their shoulders.
Well, personal injury is kind of a long process, but I help set up their personal injury protection, which will cover their medical bills while they're treating. I can help set up their wage loss and kind of just check in with them on their whole treatment process.
You guys, you're so friendly, you're helpful.
They're-
I'm assuming people come in thinking it's going to be intimidating.
Yes and no. It is intimidating because insurance companies are tedious. They're a lot of work, and we take that off of their hands so they don't have to go back and forth with every little detail. We kind of take that on for them so they can more focus on treating, getting better, and moving on with their life.
So what's it like, everybody working together? Does it work well, or do you guys tease Ziad a lot?
It works well. We're all very different, but it meshes
Definitely
fabulous.
a family.
Yeah, we work together despite how different we are.
That's
and
great.
It really means that we have this bond. The tedious part of a lot of what we do is where the legal care team at MyTrafficMan.net shines. Annie will come through and put together all the forms that a client needs and help them fill it out so that we can deliver a package to the Department of Licensing when we need to the court when we need to. I want to take a little extra time and talk about Kaliska's role, because I know that drug court's important to her, and they're having a little challenge right now, kind of keeping that going, but she's a very proud graduate. We went to her graduation. I just want to give her some extra recognition for that. And Sydney provides so much help for us to deliver the type of service that we do.
Again, we are talking to Ziad Youssef with MyTrafficMan.net, and he has with him today Annie, his senior clerk who runs licensing division, Kaliska, administrative assistant and traffic infraction clerk, and Sydney, personal injury paralegal and traffic infraction manager. Thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Crystal.
Now, Ziad, tell me how people can get a hold of you.
As always, you can give us a call directly at 360-734-0908 or look us up online at www.mytrafficman.net.
Great. Thank you so much for being with us today. You're listening to Community Connection. Stay with us. We've got lots more coming up.